All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely early, not early, a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I want to have a little fun this evening. Uh, and I'm just going to be about trying to get some information, draw information from you as I also um, put out information. But this topic is about where must we go from here? Okay. Where must we go from here? Being so, right now, I don't know if many of you all have behold the fact that you don't hear too many people telling you where we're at and where we're going as a body of Hamashiach, okay? But don't get it bent now. Yah knows the way, okay? He built the body of Hamashiach, and we are the saints therein. And don't think he don't know the way, because let me tell you, he knows the start of it and the end. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about where must we go from here. And I notice that a lot of people are building up and starting themselves a YouTube page, and they're talking about a whole bunch of things. But I say unto you, where must we go from here? Okay. We're going to have a little fun this evening, and we're going to talk about a little here, a little there, a little up, a little down, a little all around. And we're just going to try to have a good time in what we're about to learn this evening. And again, it's where must we go from here? We do need some sense or some feeling of direction. Okay. Only one place I know that's left, the only one place that I know that is left that we could go. Only one. I know that there's two, but I'm not concerned about the other one. I'm more concerned about just the one, and that is the way, the where we. Well, no, let me say this: where we must. No, where must we go from here? Only one way I know, and I'm gonna tell you off up front: spiritual understanding. Spiritual understanding. And that's what we're going to cover a lot of that this evening. But there is no other way, y'all. I'm here to tell you. Is so much darkness in the land. I can't tell you to go that route, because that's not the route I go. That's not the route I would even try to go into, that direction. So where must we go from here? I would say spiritual understanding. And what is spiritual understanding? Light. Okay? We want the spirit and truth, which is the light that shines on all darkness. That's the only thing left, you guys, is spiritual understanding. And that's what we have left to walk therein. In what we're in today, that's all we have is spiritual understanding. See, a lot of you all didn't know that when he said, in all your getting, wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all. You said all our getting? You didn't say wisdom, did you? No. You didn't say knowledge, did you? No. You said get understanding, because understanding rests in his bosom. Understanding rests in his bosom. And who is he? He is a spirit. So we need that spiritual understanding that rests in his bosom. That's where we are today. That's where we must go from here. And it's going to be very hard to come by, you guys. Very, 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 very hard to come by. And we're going to cover that because I'm going to show you the difference in you yourself, as well as Sister Deborah, how we are walking more so toward the direction of darkness more so than the light. But we don't understand the end game is about the light and not the darkness. The end game is the victory of the light, not the darkness. That's what a lot of people don't know. And like when they be talking about how the Most High is going to fight a war at the end, they don't understand it in the what? Spirit of understanding. How can you fight against he that created all things? Just think. Come on, y'all. Give yourself time to think. Get out of your flesh. How can we fight, anybody fight up against he that created them? It don't make sense. So they have to understand what they're reading is not really a war within individual fighting against the one that created. No, they can fight against you, but they're not going to fight against he that created them. Yeah. Just bring it to the, that's why I said we need this. Where we need to be going from here is spiritual understanding. Every time we knock on his door, we knocking for spiritual understanding. Every time we seeking him for spiritual understanding. Because natural understanding we don't need. Why? Because it's all clearly seen. We can clearly see what's going on in the world. But we can't clearly see how he's going to deal with it. And how he can give us the peace that passes all understanding, because he is all understanding. So Sister Deborah, would say spiritual understanding is our only way. It's our only way to go. I want to talk about right quick my son Jonah. Jonah in the well. That's what he don't like me saying that out in public. But when people be talking, oh, that's Jonah. I said, yeah, Jonah in the well. He said, Mama. This one man said, I said, yeah. He said, that's your son? Yeah, I said, that's my youngest son, my baby boy. He said, you need to stop saying he your baby boy. This big old dude. But Jonah, he tries really hard. He tries hard to please his mom because he got so much of his father's ways in him. He still try to please his mom, to try to do right by me. But I kind of feel sad for him, you guys. I got Jonah is my baby boy. Now let me stop. Yeah, my youngest. And it's just like, I'm gonna tell you what I feel as a mother. It's like he's not battling the fact that he is what you call a Negro or African America or whatever. He don't call himself that, but I'm just saying he battles with the fact that I think he do not like how his people conduct themselves. And y'all, I can't, I'm gonna go and tell the truth of the whole matter. This kid really want to belong to the opposite race. He want to fit in among them. He don't want to deny who he is, but he prefer being amongst a people that is not his tribe and his race. You think I blame him? Nope, I don't. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you all and tell you so many of our people, especially our brothers, have ruined our nation, our tribe. And they will not ever make videos, get on this devil platform and tell the truth of the whole matter. Our young men have been ruined, not by our mother who did whatever she can to bring them up, but by the men that have shown them this is the way to go. Drugs, shooting, game banging, rapping. Yes, rapping, because it was formed to destroy us as a tribe. And they did an excellent job while we sat around. Woo, we like it, we like it. And as you see it today, you see all the darkness that rests her in. It didn't rest her in today. Y'all, that darkness was in them yesterday. It just shows you the mindset of Judah that can't seem to grip reality. Judah cannot seem to grip reality. Rapping wasn't something that what it became today. It was set to destroy the community. Okay? Now, some people might say the family. No, the family was destroyed because Judah men been destroyed the family. And somewhere along the line, I'll be asking the Father, is you going to bring it out like everything else? You know how T.D. Jakes out? You know how who else? Eddie Long out. All of this stuff that's coming out. P. Daddy. All of this about our tribe. I don't even believe. I'm going to tell you me as an individual. I cannot blame the world, meaning the heathens and Gentiles and the European, for the choices that our tribe took a hold of. Because you don't understand what they did. They took a hold of what the Europeans and the heathens and Gentiles offered them to destroy their own tribe. And all we can do is look over there at the heathens and Gentiles and Europeans. It's because of you. Tell me, would I be able to stand before the Most High Yah come judgment and say, but it was the Europeans and the heathens and the Gentiles did it? As if he didn't know he brought us to a land that was like unto our ways over in our promised land that we had within us. See, that's another thing. There is a full denier that the way that we see this country and the four corners and captivity we in, when you really read it, which none of them will, because the Father say that's their mentality. They are never going to be about the light. They're never going to tell the truth of the whole matter. But like in Ezekiel 36, he had to step into Ezekiel. And you can see how Yah stepped into Ezekiel and said, okay, let me tell you what they did. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, wasn't Ezekiel, when it said, it was talking like it was Ezekiel. But then you hear Yah come out of the Ezekiel. You hear Yah speaking to Ezekiel in a form like, hey, you don't know nothing, bro. You don't know nothing. Let me tell you what they did. And that's what you all missed when I say spiritual understanding. Understanding the spiritual whole overall in this time, in this living, in this life. Because once you can understand the spiritual, you get the spiritual understanding, you in there. Because the natural is clearly seen. But we would deny the spiritual because it tells on the natural. So my son, when he come up, and he does a lot of things with the fake Jews. And I've been teaching that young man for a long time, do not deal, and showing him in these verses and telling him what I said, the Most High Yah, who they are, your identity. But it's just something about it. He just so fascinated with it. He liked the way the wealth that's there. He sees this wealth. He sees their children well taken care of more than any group of people on the face of the earth. This young man sees this. He is fully aware of these things. He sees this, and he knows that I'm totally against him being among them. He knows it, but it's just where he feels so comfortable in. You see, he wants to do it. Yes, he traveled with them. He goes all over the place with them. Every event he goes to, when he went to Colorado, to the mountains, to the ski resort, they own it. You see? And he saw the wealth and how they live and how they, And yes, they do treat him. But I told him, it's like, you never know when you're going to get that knife in your back, baby. Because what mama's saying is not something to just make you feel something towards somebody because the way you think that I believe. I wanted you to see it in these here instructions and direction book and what the Spirit of the Most High has taught me. But in him, he love it. He will not hang around his own tribe. He will not do things and go activities and nothing around his own. Now he go to play basketball, but that's pretty much it. But outside of that, he don't deal. He don't deal with his own tribe. He don't deal with them. And I said, you go out here and you go to all these here high class events they have, and you go to be the camp leader and all this and all they places. What have you thought about going to the inner city among your own people and be a camp leader among them? He don't want to. And I understand. I fully understand. Why? Because Yah has given me spiritual understanding. So when I say unto you, where must we go from here? You best believe it's going to take spiritual understanding, not the mouth of men and women who just run in their mouth, but the spiritual understanding that comes to teach you through the Ruach HaKodesh. And he said he's coming to teach you all things, not some. So you won't be short nothing. And the way he's coming spirit. And if you want that spirit, that spiritual understanding, that's the only way we must go, y'all, from here. Because all this other understanding, all this killing and all this stuff that's going on, it's plainly seen. It's nothing hidden. It's all in the open. To the point where we even calling it righteous because it's so in front of us, it don't even move us like it should. Oh, Father, Yah. If we are the body of Hamashiach and we are the saints in that body, we're supposed to be able to feel this thing that's going on in the world. Why don't they, Deborah? Because you don't have spiritual understanding. You don't know the way to go from here. Because you think these things is play. Long as it ain't my family, long as it ain't me and mine. And people are so caught up in there. And this is where the game is going to be in tonight. We're going to rumble on this game here. We're going to get into this. Because we should first and foremost seek out where we must go from here. And I keep saying to you all that it feels like he keep teaching me and teaching me and teaching me. I'm like saying, what we gonna do with all this? What they gonna know? They don't even know this. How you think they gonna get this, Father? Y'all? Oh, it's already orchestrated in his will. It's just that I don't know where he has it, in the land of the captives or on the journey. But you're going to have to know something, have something on that journey. And I believe it's spiritual understanding. That's where we should be trying to go. Not like you get in your car and go somewhere. It's not like you catch the bus and go somewhere. Or you get on your bike and go somewhere. It's within. It's where we need to be trying to seek. Within spiritual understanding. There's two understandings, you guys. It's even the understanding that they're teaching on all these platforms and being led by these men and women based on what they are teaching you. That's called fleshly understanding, where they can get into this book and teach you, precept you, line, little here and a little there. That's the only way they can teach you. But there's a greater teaching, baby. There's a greater understanding, baby. And that is through the Ruach HaKodesh, who teaches you all things through the what? Spiritual understanding. Okay, so with Jonah, let me tell y'all, it's a sad thing. And I saw him today before he took off to go. Where he going today? He's going back to Colorado. You know, to go to like 6 or 7 different camps. And I'm like, I said, well, is it any your people there? No, Mama, they don't. The first time he joined them, about 5 years ago, they had two melanated kids there. And my son had a fit. He said, Mama, they made me feel so bad. Mama, the things that these two kids were doing was off the chain. It just did something to him. He just said that our people is a character. He said just something about it. And I 100% agree. He's a man. And that's what I call a man. Because that's the only son that will step into me quick. You know? And I like it. Yes, I do. He tells me if I do something or if I say something to somebody, he feel that I shouldn't. He would say, Mama, it's the way you say that. Mama, see, you know it this way, and this is the only way they know it. He breaks it down in a way that is very respectable. It's being very respect. He's showing a lot of respect to me, but yet no, telling me, Mama, you shouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? And I feel, and when he do that, I feel sad for him. I feel sad for him because I can see him hurting because he had to confront his mama that way. But he'll pull up on me in a minute. Yes, he would. And I'll pull back up on him in the spirit of truth. You see? So, but I allow him to do that. And I still in all feel sad, for him. And I do feel sad for him because this is a kid. Now, he ain't no kid. He's a grown man. This is a grown man who all he want to do is travel, go places, and have things. And I'm going to show you how bad it is, y'all. Instead of him letting me drop him off, he don't want me to drop him off because he don't want them to see what kind of car he pulling up in. You see what I'm talking about, child? That's all messed up. Because these are not, what y'all don't understand. I cooked for the fraternity. I was the chef for the fraternity in Washington University. I think they should be the fourth or the third now largest, wealthiest college. They in there. Now, they might be the fourth. I don't know. They one of them. But they are wealthy as wealthy can be. And I was the chef for the Jewish fraternities. Yeah. And you talking about money? Them young men in that fraternity, all they knew is, let's give Miss Brown money. Let's give her money. And when they went all on a trip out of town, y'all, they brought me wallets and purses. I mean, they bought me so many. Y'all, these guys. And I asked them, why are you all throwing all of these? Because in the cafeteria, I'm trying to figure out, why are you all throwing your mail full of credit cards in here? Why don't y'all cut them up? Why? We don't want that stuff, Miss Brown. Our parents be applying for all that mess. We don't want that. We don't even want to be in the college. These are Jewish kids. Doctors and dentists. That's the fraternity ward I was in as their chef. They hired me. I mean, I was making something like $1,800 a week. Hey, Miss Brown. Like it ain't nothing. So what I'm saying to you all, they told me that we don't even want to go to college. We don't want to have nothing to do with school and get a degree. But it's like it's mandatory that we do this. And I said, but why y'all throwing the credit cards into the trash? You should cut them up so nobody want to get it. We don't care. Our mother shouldn't have, our daddy shouldn't have applied for us. You see, we don't need that. And it's like they are not in need for anything. So me working with the Jewish fraternity in Washington University College, and if you see what the college looked like, they talking about and all these other colleges. Hey, baby, this is one I think that's hidden that people don't even know about. I mean, it is booming and building like I ain't never seen nobody building the adding in this day, the year of 2000, when the pandemic was taking place. They were building still. They were working during the time they had everything closed down. And y'all should see what they done built during that time. It said it's just, they also hold the logo, y'all, the Power Punch logo of the whole world. That logo I keep trying to tell y'all about that y'all don't know nothing about. Truly, y'all don't know nothing about it. Y'all might think you do, but you don't know nothing about it. But they hold that all over the world. That's their logo. And that's the power punch. You know, the power punch is those who rule the world. And y'all thinking it's Biden and Trump. No, they got them two clowns clowning. Because in your eyes, got these doing Negroes out here talking about Trump and Biden. You see, this is why they treated Judith or Israel less than human. I ain't gonna say Israel, but Judith less than human. Because one thing Judith will never own up, that you all, even to today, conduct yourself in a manner unhuman. Oh, no. When they see that you don't have no stronghold in your house, and they know it ain't got nothing to do with no female. It's got to do with the mindset of Judith. And we're gonna get on here. We finna climb on top of this thing, and y'all gonna find something out you didn't know. And you know what? When you get off of here tonight, you still ain't gonna know, because when you got that set mind in darkness, like he said in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5. I think it's 5. It's verse 5. The light shined, Deborah, but the darkness comprehended not. So to me, I can say that now. The truth is clearly seen, but Judah comprehended. They don't have it. And I'm gonna tell y'all else something I'm still putting before y'all. Is it a reason why Judah's so gone? Because honestly, the Most High informed me through the teaching in the wilderness. It ain't nobody done to them, Deborah. Ain't nobody done nothing to them. This is the same people that done things to me. I'm the creator of it all. And they never let up on disrespecting me, dishonoring me, following rules, orders. Nothing, covenant, nothing they wouldn't follow. So we, as a people, thinking we escaping something because we get over here, oh, they did it, oh, they did it to me. When you pick up that instructions and direction book, it'll tell you you've been lying from the beginning. And that's why I sit back and say, that's probably why they treat them as if they less than human. Because they conduct their whole lifestyle. You go into their community. It's no reason for your community and your highways in the city and all on. Yes, do the city pay for cleaning up? But if you show some sort of effort to clean up your own community, because ain't nobody telling you putting bottles and glasses and trash all over your neighborhood. Why is that the white man problem? Come on now. See, it's a lot of, and cutting your grass, your weed growing up, and a lot of y'all say, well, it's them too. That's your problem. You keep saying it's them. But when you stand before that judgment seat, y'all gonna judge you at the same measurement he gonna judge them. It's gonna be the same judgment leveled off. Then what you gonna say? You see what I'm saying? So when all this lying and pretending that everybody got the fault, everybody doing something to you and continue to do something to you, you're gonna wear that sucker out on this earth. And when it's time for you to get thinking you're going over to the other side, you might not be going, because there's going to be some purging on the journey. He ain't taking everybody like they think. So we're going to get into that. But Jonah, it's a constant today. When I dropped him off at the airport, I'm like, baby, mama didn't told you. And then I saw the look on his face. It's like, mama, how long throughout my life you going to keep telling me this? This is what I want to do. You know? He didn't say that to me, and that's not how he said it to me, but I feel so sad for such a beautiful young man that got such a straight head, and his head is straight. He sees what's going on out here. I got to tell y'all, I feel this thing, and I'm telling you as a prophetess, I'm feeling this thing in the spirit, and this thing ain't looking good. But do you think it means something to anybody? No, they don't care. You talking about us. We ain't done that. They doing it. Yeah, you go right ahead, baby. But the topic of this message, where must we go from here? And I'm talking to the body of Hamashiach. If you're not in the body of Hamashiach, and if you don't know who the Hamashiach is, that's the power of the Father's right hand. And we are in that body. We are the saints of the Most High Yah. We must look and know how to seek from here, spirit and truth. We must desire, we must yearn for it, we must drink it, we must eat it. Let us go. Okay. When I was going over this here lesson, I end up in Amos chapter 8. And in Amos chapter 8, it kind of helped me a great deal of understanding where we're actually heading. Okay. And it also, remember, I keep asking you all, where should we, not where should we, on the journey, it's almost like, I keep saying this to y'all, on this journey, it's almost like I'm going on the journey and he constantly keep teaching. I'm saying like, what am I going to do with all this? Why do I need to know this? Why are you showing me this? Why are you revealing this? What am I going to do with it? You know, in a sense, you know, but there's somewhere along the line, it is needed. It is needed for me to put in my spiritual backpack. Because if you think for 1 minute that this most high Yah that's greater in me is teaching me every day something that I didn't know yesterday, is doing it just to be doing it? No. You think he's doing it just so I can survive today? No, he's doing it because it's something that's going to take place tomorrow, that is going to require me to know it today, to prepare, not to prepare, to go the way into tomorrow. So where must we go from here? A lot of people are going all kind of places because they thinking this is it. I got it. I got mine. I'm ready. Forget them. You know, my thing is that I pray for my son, Jonah. I pray for all of my siblings, but all of my children. But you know what I do? I said, Father, not my will, but thy will. I rest my head according to your will with my children. I'm just a mother praying for her child. That's it. Because I want him, he already know it, but I want to speak it every time I pray. Because I don't want to cross out your will, what you got ready for Jonah or Joseph or China or Raymond or Christo. You know, you don't want to interfere with him. You see what I'm saying? So you want him to know you respect his will to be greater than your feelings as a mother. I always put that before him because I never want me as a mother to have any pull to him as the creator. So your will, Father. I'm just a mother praying for her children. I'll make sure I land that right out. Do he know it already? Yeah. He heard me say it too many times throughout my living. So with Jonah, it's just like people say, well, let's let him alone. Let him just live. And I was like, oh, Father, the same one he detached himself to will be the same one that will show up to be his enemy. And you know what I do? I said, okay, Father, let your hedge that was around Job be around my children, if it be thy will, as you have placed it around me. Because I'm going to tell y'all, you all standing on the outside thinking you looking in and you know what you know, but you don't know nothing. This thing is strictly spirit. The whole overall is spirit. And we lost the way because we took everything spiritual and made it natural. Is the only way we accept it and we believe it and we embrace it. And you cannot win that way because it came down two ways: spirit and flesh, natural. And when you got that mindset that is the way that it is in the flesh, the natural way, and that's the only way, that's the mind of Judah. Okay. So another thing I didn't open up and speak on was my Aunt Ruby. I told you all the things that my Aunt Ruby had set me up as far as with her brother, which is my uncle. They are my dad's, my father, siblings, his youngest sibling, his youngest brother and his youngest sister. And the reason I didn't give you all this main key, the reason why Ruby set me up, because how old is she? 22, 23 years ago, I took her in. And I took care of her for a year. And she said to me, I would love to get my own place. I said, you will? I'm good with communicating with people. I found her a nice, perfect place for her. I paid the first month rent and the deposit, but she stayed with me a whole year and I took care of her. She didn't have to pay me a dime because she didn't have anything. So she figured, okay, I can give her my brother to her and she'll do the same to me. I brought it up to her last night. I cleared the air. I brought it up to her. I say, and I did it for you, and you're gonna bring him onto me this way and want me to take care of him the rest of his life? No, no. This sister is. I'm not that, and I don't appreciate you. And I chewed out, so I cleared the way with Ruby and the Father in the heavens, because I had to pray on some things, you guys. I really had to take it to the altar, and the Father brought the altar to me. Praise the mighty Yah. He brought the altar to me. What is that on my? He brought the altar to me. I get a phone call from the hospital and say, Miss Brown. I said, yeah, this is social services. I am dealing with. I am over the one that's going to write up your uncle's paperwork and everything. I need to know where you stand. I said, I just know that this and this is what I told her. It is from the Most High God. Why? Because it's no way. I got a letter typed out, made me 2 copies, getting ready to go to the hospital to put it in the files for the doctors to see it. And that's my side of why my uncle is in the hospital and his medical condition and how I got stuck with him within 4 minutes. He was brought to my house less than 4 minutes, but still they dropped him and took off less than 4 minutes. But when that lady called, I didn't have to take the letter. So that's why I said, y'all brought the altar to me. That lady said, ma'am, I am so sorry. She said, I went in there and it is an odor. That's what she told me. She said, it's an odor in his room. I said, yeah, I know it. I didn't at first, but when he stayed here already, I had the 2 days was already, the room was with an odor, in the house itself. I'm serious. Y'all probably think I'm kidding. No, I am not. So when she said that, I was like, yep, you're right. And I just gave it to her. And she said, when we're going to see, I'm going to go back to the doctor. We're going to see what we can do as far as trying to make some arrangements and give me your aunt number. I said, yes, give me his daughter number. I said, okay. And she said, and they put him on you. I said, yeah. So that got taken care of. I like that because I did pray to the Most High Yah, because you have to, because your state of mind, and when someone does do something to you a certain way, and you by right 100% righteous in what you are experiencing and what you need to say, but it wouldn't hurt. It doesn't bother you to get down and pray to the Father to deliver you from this mountain that's before you. Push it out of the way, Father, with that right hand. Pull up with that right hand, okay? And I thank the Father for that. But so let's go to Amos chapter 8 and verse 10. Amos chapter 8 and verse 10 through 13. Now let's go, verse 10. And I will turn. Now Amos is a prophet. He's speaking. He had to go to a king of the ninth king of Judah. And these are some words that he had also to say. I think I'm gonna go up to Amos chapter 8, and I'm gonna go up to 9, verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day. Wait a minute now. We in that day. Now I'm gonna show y'all how they smeared the book, so you can kind of understand why Sister Deborah is always telling you all these are words Yah is the word. The word teaches you the order of the words in spirit and in truth. You just can't go in here and think you can pull out and become a pastor, a leader, a teacher, a preacher. That's why you see what you see in the world today. You see all these people with all these titles. This is the reason why. It's because they reading the words, and I'm gonna show you. Now just look at verse 9, Amos chapter 8 and verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day. Do it say days? It don't see days, do it, but watch as we continue. Said Yah, okay, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear of day. Ooh-wee! So we know that's in Revelation. And when we tell you somewhere else is at, it's in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. They spoke little about this as well. Now here you are in Amos. He's talking about it as well. But listen to what is said that Yah said. Amos chapter 8, verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day, shall Yah, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. Okay? So we know that's in Revelation. That's during the end time. That's where we at now, running up in, right? Verse 10. And I will turn your feast with an S, into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon your your learns, and baldness upon every head. We know the baldness of the daughters of Zion. He spoke of that burning and that baldness. And we know that the sackcloth has something to do with the daughters of Zion as well, because that's what they're going to be in. He's going to strip their garments. All these things they telling y'all to wear, wrap your head and all this. He said he's going to pull all that mess off, and you're going to have a burning scab. And a lot of these ignorant people on this earth think that because you put a perm in your head, that's the cause. No, those are chemicals doing that. Come on, we're going to go the way he talking about what he going to do. Let's see what he said. In verse 10, and I will turn your feast. No, you're going to turn it, or products are going to turn it. You see? That's why I say a lot of people talk, but I think it's a lot of envy and jealous because they want to look a certain way, and they want everybody to look the way that they're looking. And everybody should be able to look any way that they want, as long as if you representing the Most High Yah will tune that thing up and tune it down on you. You see, if it's out of order, he didn't ask no man, no woman to tell you how to dress and how you're to look. You got the men dressing in their name brands and their muscle shirts and out here just dressing any way they want, but they got the women all wrapped to head to toe. Yah said them in the beginning, not him. That's what I'm saying. If he ain't wrapped from head to toe, why are you wrapped? When he said them, not him. See, they took everything and made it the way they wanted. That's why the world in the condition and was prophesied that it would be. But as you read under the Ruach, not just read because somebody telling you and what you feel and what your own understanding, you read under the Ruach, and then he will break it down to you. Okay. So here you see in Amos chapter 8 and verse 10, and I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all your loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the mourning of the only son, like a son that passed away was your only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. This is what Yah is saying to this here prophet way back then. of what he gonna do in these days. You see, that match Isaiah chapter 3, 100%. Isaiah chapter 3, 100%. It matches it, okay? And this is a different prophet. This is showing you that he has always had the information there. But we don't want what he has to say. We want what we've been taught to believe. And it's okay for you to be taught to believe what you're understanding. That's because you're born of the flesh. See, the one reason where you know you're not of the flesh is when you let the spirit, when you know the spirit in you teaches you and not flesh. See, people don't understand when you are led by the flesh and taught by the flesh and precept by the flesh and a little here by the flesh and a little there by the flesh, you are born of the flesh. But when you are born of the spirit, the Ruach pull up and teach you from the inside out. You see? And you know the difference. But people who walk in darkness are those who are in the flesh. They must stay and remain in darkness because that's all they know. That's all they can embrace. That's all they can feel. That's all they can think. So the Ruach ain't coming up in them, nowhere near them, because he has no place in them, because they're walking in the dark of understanding man, where he tells them, put your trust in no man. He's talking about heathens that walks in the light. He ain't talking about those who walk in the dark. They need to keep walking in the dark and walk on through the broad gate. It's wide. It's waiting for you. So here, the Father says something to Amos. And I liked about the feast, because if you go to Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark, you'll see where he says it's going to be like the days of Noah. They were feasting. See, y'all ain't connecting feast. Israel and the ones that says that we the people, they ain't connected. Wait a minute, something wrong with our feast today. It ain't the same as it was. It ain't representing Yah. We feasting, drinking, and doing all this, and Yah is not in the midst. And he told us he wasn't being in it. But we believe the flesh of man, and we agree, and we ourselves turn to that way of thinking, understanding, and believing. And then we go on teaching others. You see? So here he said is he's going to turn their feast into mourning. Why? Like the days of Noah. They were what? Feasting. I think that's the matter of fact, that might be the first one or the second one, where it says they were feasting. Why would he say that and connect that to the day of Noah? Because they were feasting out of the flesh, not out of the spirit. Their feast wasn't dedicated to Yah. Their feast was dedicated to their flesh. So he's breaking it down about the sackcloth, which Yah, it is going to be like that, because it is mentioned in Ezekiel and Isaiah, especially Isaiah 3. It breaks that down about the sackcloth that the women going to be in, and they're going to be lamentation, and they're going to be bald, and they're going to have burning scalp. Believe it. There he go. Amos talking about it right here. Okay, now watch this here. In verse 11, behold, the days. Now you see now switching to the days, and you're going to see where it's going to say the day. Now up in verse 9, it said that day, a particular day. But down here it says, behold, the days come. That's because where we're at is the days they speaking of, Yah. Said Yah, that I would send famine in the land. Watch this, y'all. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And it answered my topic. Where must we go from here? Now, this is what made me pull this. Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come. Now, that's where we at now, y'all. Watch this here. Said Yah, that I will send famine in the land. Watch how beautiful this is. Not a famine of bread, nor thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yah. Look at that. See, when you're taught by the flesh of man, you take these words and they are applied to you in a way or in a sense that you understand it in your flesh and you embrace it. Oh yeah, I understand. I got it. But baby, when you got to pull up with the ruach in you and teach that thing and understand it in the spirit. That's why I say that our only way to go is in spiritual understanding. And here he's saying that this famine is not like bread and thirst of water, but of the hearing of the words of Yah. Do you know right here today, you are not going to find one YouTuber talking what I'm just talking about. He's actually telling you the day's going to come. What? The word. Of Yah is going to be like a famine in the land. Praise the mighty Yah. Because why? I can feel that now. I've been telling y'all that. I've been telling y'all something going on. How do y'all think I must feel always bringing and knowing that I'm bringing topics that ain't nobody preached about, taught about, bishop, evangelist, priest. Nobody's nowhere telling you these things because there is a famine of the word of Yah in the land. It makes sense to this sister. It goes right along with the whole overall of what Yah is doing. Listen to what he says. Verse 11. Behold, the days come, said Yah, that I will send a famine in the land. That a famine, not a famine of bread nor thirst of water. That means it ain't about the food. You see? It's a greater one, y'all. The question was to you all in the title, where must we go from here? And what did the prophet tell you? Spiritual understanding. That's what everybody is lacking. Spiritual understanding. Do they have fleshly and worldly understanding? 100%. Clearly seen. But you don't have spiritual understanding. And that's where we must go from here. In wanting and desiring the things that's not seen, but yet believed. And when it's broken down through the Ruach, then you can grip it in the spirit realm and say, oh, wow, I see. When you, at time you saw it one way. Just like I broke down to y'all right here talking about the feast. He's letting you know the feast is going to be a form of mourning, just as it said in Matthew, Luke, John, and Matthew, Luke, and Mark. It tells you that it's going to be like the days of Noah. They're going to be feasting. And in Isaiah, it tells you y'all have nothing to do with their feasts, feast days. And what they're doing is they're using that, trying to mimic what they did back in Torah. And they bring it into this day to try to make you think that they are worshiping an unseen Yah. And Yah is telling you they're never going to, baby. So I like this because he's telling you there's going to be a famine he's going to allow. He's going to send it. And it's going to be not food and water, but the hearing of the word of Yah. Look at that word. It got an S on it. Like it's words. But I'm going to show you that's an error. Watch this here. Verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run and to and fro to seek the. Now you see the word? You see how they switch from the words to the word? What will make them switch from the words of Yah to the word of Yah? An error. They forgot to leave out the S. You see what I'm saying? They forgot to leave out the S on one of those words because the word is different than the words. And they forgot to leave out the S. That's an error right there. That is an error. So what happens? And the word of Yah, and shall not find it. So what did Sister Deborah tell y'all? I say it's something's going on because you don't hear people teaching it, preaching it, nor understanding it, nor gripping it in the way that they should get it and receive it. Because let me do this right quick, you guys. Let me do this. I'm sorry. 1 minute. Uh, 1 minute. Okay. All right. Because when people come in and they throw in verses like that, they come in trying to teach something totally, this individual talking something totally different than what I'm speaking on. And it don't mean a rat's behind. It don't mean a rat's behind. You see? So you have to delete them. You have to put them away because they come in trying to teach on this platform. Get your own and quote all those verses in scriptures because they don't connect to this one. Okay? So here I like what Amos is saying, and he's a prophet. He's talking about how the word is going to be a famine, even in the days to come, you guys. And what did I tell you all? It's something strange about him keep teaching me these things and revealing things to me that I didn't know yesterday. But yet you don't hear nobody talking about it. You don't hear nobody preaching and teaching. I've been telling y'all that for a good couple of years. I don't get it. I said, but they act like they don't see. They don't see this. They don't get it. They're not preaching. They're not teaching. It get confusing. It get very confusing. But when I hear Amos chapter 8, I see him saying it. And he said in verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro, to seek the word of Yah, and shall not find it. I 100% agree with that. I know they talking about this day, y'all, because that's the way I'm feeling this thing. I'm feeling it, trying to with all this. Wait a minute, why is it they not teaching the people this? Why ain't they showing them this? Why ain't they revealing Yah doing this? And why ain't they? It's because they teaching you one way, and that's the way of darkness. That's the way of the flesh. And Yah is trying to get you to not. He ain't trying to get you to nothing because it's finished, but he's allowing his, even if it's one, to speak spirit and truth. You see? And it's not to him, it's not important to him that they get it. Why? He made two directions on this earth. And a lot of y'all didn't even get that. And you won't get it. Y'all made two directions, a narrow gate and a broad. Okay? And if you don't understand that, you just out there beyond darkness. Two ways, two directions, the narrow gate and the broad. Which way are you running or heading or walking or living? You see? So here he said, it's the time. Amos was telling him there's a time is going to come when they're going to go out and be seeking the word and ain't going to find it. Here I am, Amos. You are 100%. I'm living in that day that you spoke of, Amos. That's why I tell you these prophets are truly my brothers. Because I'm living what they already said, and I'm sitting here on the earth living the day that they spoke about what's going to be in this day. Here I am sitting up here like a hen, an old hen, feeling what they said. I'm feeling it because I'm in the day that they prophesied. You see? So therefore, what does it look like for Yah to give all them the prophecies of what's going to happen in this day, but nobody in this day can feel that thing? It don't make sense, y'all. It don't make sense. So when Sister Deborah is talking about, oh, I feel that thing, I really feel that thing. And just because you don't mean nothing. Because even as Amos is talking about it, I would have never thought that the famine in the land would be the word, but it makes sense in my day and time that I'm living in. It makes a lot of sense. It makes 100%. Why? Because it's showing you that, let me get this here, you guys. Let me pull this here up here. What it's showing you, it is showing you. It's actually showing you. It's showing you everything. It's showing. What did I do here? Let me put this here. There. It's showing you that you be hooping and hollering, talking about all this that I'm giving you, and you see, and why ain't they getting this, or why ain't they seeing this, why ain't they revealing it, why ain't they teaching it, why ain't they preaching it, why ain't they giving the people? It's because it's not given to them, Deborah. It's not given to them. And here go Amos even giving you an example how the word will be like famine. And people going to be going to and fro to get it. Now listen to this. Verse 13. In that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. Do you think he's talking about fainting for thirst of water? No. They're going to be fainting because they going out to seek this word. They want the thirst of this. They want the word. And they thirsted for it. But one thing I notice here, when they say the fair virgins and the young men, that's showing you our young men is going to be seeking the truth. No matter where they go, they're going to be going all over the place trying to get truth. They're going to go here and they ain't going to get it. They're going to go here and they ain't going to get it. They're going to go here and ain't going to get it to the point they're going to faint for thirst of what? The word. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, well, why ain't nobody understanding this, Father? Why do it seem like you're talking to brick walls? What is really going on here? You know, and I'm trying to figure out, did I do something to stop something? If I did, I don't think I did. Nope, I didn't. I deleted the individual, but I don't see how it cut my whole live chat off. No, it didn't, because I remember I put something in it. So what I'm saying is, this is a beautiful thing for me. I know it might not mean nothing to you all, but it's beautiful to me because it's telling me even the young men and women, they're going to be seeking to find the word of Yah. And what does it tell you? It could be on that journey. It could be that journey, you guys. It could be the journey. So when Sister Deborah telling you to put things in your spiritual backpack, when you're going, if you call and Yah taking you on that journey, and people are searching for the word to have the real truth, just imagine you'll probably be the one that's going to be giving it to them. You see what I'm saying? So it makes a lot of sense to me now. When I read that, I wasn't a part of my lesson, but when I read it, I thought about my topic. Where must we go from here? You see, and here it is actually telling you that Amos is telling him about the word of Yah being likened to a famine, but it's not water and bread. It is the word of Yah. And that's the way I feel in this day. And I could not grip it. What is it for, though? Is this why people are not talking about it? It's a famine. What I see is, I see a lot of people not doing anything. I see them not talking about anything. I see them not teaching spirit and truth. I see them not having the light in their right hand. I see them not magnifying the Most High Yah, glorifying Him and honoring Him, and putting Him the first and the end of their topic. I don't see none of that on this platform. None of it. It don't mean nothing to me. You got precepts in line and little, and you reading this out of this book. All that is don't mean nothing. It's what is greater in you that's teaching you what His people need. See, He don't need you to teach the world what they need. And that's what a lot of these prophets and these prophetess and these teachers on this platform is doing. They are teaching the world As if y'all called them down here to say, here, teach the world this. Donald Trump, Biden. Teach the world about voting, and teach the world about black marrying white and white marrying black. Teach the world about the white man saying we this and we that. All these, that's worldly. Where do he get the glory out of any of that? In the last 20 years or more, people been on this devil platform teaching exactly the way they're teaching today. And they getting, praise the Most High, y'all. Let's go to Matthew 18. We're going to go to Matthew 18 in verse 3 through 6. Matthew 18. And it says, where must we go from here? And the sister Deborah would tell you the only way I know of is spiritual understanding. Is that a way? Yes, it is. Matthew 18, verse 3 through 6. In Matthew 18, verse 3 to 6, and it reads, and he said, here is Yeshua speaking, verily I say unto you, except ye converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, let's go over that again. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 3. And he said, verily, I say unto you, except ye be converted and become a little child, ye shall not enter into the kingdom. What is that verse saying? What is it saying? What is he saying when he says, verily I say unto you, this is Yeshua, except ye be converted and become a little child, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. What is he talking about? Anybody in the live chat? Anybody in the live chat? I'm going to read it again. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 3. And Yeshua said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Very, very good. Humble. There you go. It's innocent and humble. There you go. So when people see him says a little child, they really believe children as babies. That's not what he's talking about. You cannot be converted to a little baby. He's speaking of humble and innocent like a child. Why? Because that's what's in the kingdom. Ain't no grown man sitting there up in the kingdom, no grown woman up in the kingdom telling y'all what to do. They are like little children. And he is who he is, the Father. You see? They are humbled. They are innocent before the throne. And it's not speaking of little children like we know little children. That's why I tell y'all have to learn how to pull up in the spirit realm and understand what he's saying and what is being said. But if you don't have the Ruach, now say for instance, you don't have the Ruach. If you don't have someone that's teaching the Ruach, because the Ruach is teaching them, then you just out there. And that's what I'm seeing in this day and time. A lot of people are being led by people who don't have the Ruach, but they said they have the Ruach, but they don't. And how you know is through their fruit of how they teach, what they say and how they go about saying it. When you're teaching the world, you ain't got no fruit in you, not no fruit of no spirit. When everything you got to say has to feed the world, it's warning. Y'all ain't sending here to go warn the world. For what? The world loves its own. People just don't know. So when he's speaking of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 3, he's speaking of, like you said, humble and innocent, like a little child. Okay? And then verse 4 says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child. There you go. The same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. What is he talking about? Humble, innocent. He's not talking about a real little bitty child. He's just letting you know, wait a minute, heaven is a place where they're going to be humble and innocent. They ain't gonna be up there, I'm a man, I'm a king, I'm a leader, I'm a ruler, I'm a man, or I'm a woman. Oh, no. I'm a queen. All that mess is not gonna be in the kingdom, y'all. It's gonna be people with a humble spirit, innocent and humble. See, y'all can make it whatever y'all want. And to me, I'm starting to feel good today because I'm like feeling good about the fact that this many people that lost. And I feel good because it makes a lot of sense of why he's keep teaching me these things and showing me what the people are following. People are following the ways of darkness. And this is how it's revealed. This is how he has to break this stuff down to me so I can see, this is why. Okay? We thinking, I ain't gonna say we, they thinking it's children because that's the way they teach you. You can't be converted into a little child, but you can be converted in your spirit by being humble, meek, innocent. Okay, so that's what he's talking about, and he's letting you know this is what the kingdom is made of. So all this mess y'all pulling down here, thinking it's gonna run up in the kingdom, you's a lie. The way you training your spirit to rule and be overseer and think you got it all, that mess ain't coming to no kingdom, y'all. He said humble, like a child, innocent. So all that mess y'all doing down here talking about we a king, a leader, a ruler, she's my queen and all this old bull crap. Kingdom ain't built up of that. That's your trash down here. So enjoy it while you can because it ain't going no further than here in the lake of fire. Okay. So verse 5, it says, and whoso shall receive such little child in my names, receive it me. What little child he's talking about? That humble and meek and innocent spirit. He's not talking about the little child like the world would teach it, the preachers would teach it. See these children we have in the church? These are the kingdom. That's how they taught it. I don't know if y'all know that, but they do. They teach that in the church, that the little children are what's in the kingdom. No, baby. He's speaking of a spiritual humbleness, a spiritual innocence, a spiritual meek, like little children are, innocent, humble. They don't know what's going on and get caught up in everything that's in the world and everything that the world is doing. They're not caught up in all of that. So I want you to also understand these children that's not caught up in the ways of the world. They ain't looking for who's going to win, Trump or Biden. And I'm going to have to teach something on that tomorrow. So people, I think I'm going to do a video during the day on that because people just as ignorant as the Father don't even like me using that word because he said that's a word that they can escape from. The truth be told, where they at in their mental state is worse than that. That's too of a good word because it caused them to escape and say, oh, they simply don't know. And he said, don't use that because that's what it's saying. They don't know when he's saying they know. And I'm saying they don't know. They ignorant. No, don't say ignorant there because they know. And I'm saying they don't know. He's saying they know. I'm saying they don't know. So he said, don't use that because it gives them a way of escape. That's what they've been escaping, that they don't know. Okay. So verse 5, Matthew chapter 18 and verse 5, and whosoever shall receive one of these little ones, one of these little children in my name, receive it me. Where else do we remember seeing that? In Matthew's what? 25, when Yeshua take the righteous one up and tell them that when he was hungry, they fed him. When he was thirsty, they gave him a drink. He went on and telling them everything. And then they said, well, when did we do that? When you done it to the least of one of these, you have done it unto me. And he wasn't talking about little bitty babies and kids. Let's go there. Verse 25. Matthew 25 and verse 25. Let me see where it's at. Let me get it. Verse 25. Nope, wait a minute. Matthew's, is it 25? Oh, I'm in the wrong verse. 25. Watch this here. Look at verse 31, 37. Matthew's 25 and verse 37. And this is what the angels were saying. The righteous angels were saying to Yeshua. They were the sheep. This is what they were saying to him. Verse 37. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee a drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thy sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king Yeshua shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of these, those are the righteous one he's talking to one of these, of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Now, go back to your 18. Matthew's 18 and verse 5. Whosoever shall receive one of these little children in my name, receive me. They're speaking of the righteous ones, okay? The sheep of the kingdom. They're not talking about kids as they're using the word a little children. You got to be able to understand these things in spirit and not in flesh, okay? Then verse 6 says, but whosoever, let me see if that's a part of mine. Yeah, 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hung about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. That's real. And a lot of y'all don't know that. And you ain't going to know it. Y'all is not going to let you do what you want to do to his seeds, to his sheep, to his little children, okay? To these little ones. He ain't talking about little babies and little kids in the flesh. He talking about those that belong to him. And he's telling you, if you do anything to offend one of these, which believe in me. Now, you know ain't no kids believing in no Yah. So you know he ain't talking about children in the natural as babies and little children in that form. He's talking about humble and meek and innocent. Those are Yah's a righteous one. And he says in verse 6, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, and he's talking about ain't no kids. He ain't talking about the kids which believe in me. You know, ain't no kids, little kids believing in no Yah. He's not talking about kids in the flesh. He's talking about his children in the spirit. They are humble and innocent before him. And that's what they are to him from the kingdom level. Okay. And in which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hung about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. I'm telling y'all that's real there, y'all. Y'all don't let nobody mess with his. He ain't letting them do it. He ain't gonna let him do it. He's not gonna let him do it. Okay. So now let's go to Matthew's chapter 19 and verse 13 and 14. In Matthew's chapter 19, verse 13 and 14, where must we go from here? And that is spiritual understanding. We must seek after spiritual understanding. And it'll also help us to escape all this darkness. Because if we keep looking at this darkness, the darkness is what we will become. Because we ain't looking at the spiritual realm that over succeed and get victory over the darkness. And we just assume that the darkness is what it is, and this is the way it's going to be, and this is it. It's got the power. It ain't got nothing. It don't own nothing. Y'all still rule it. So if y'all rule the darkness as well as the light, I mean the wicked as well as the evil and the righteous, well, why ain't you trying to see who he is? And instead of trying to make everything to line up in the way of darkness. Because that's what 99.9 does. If they can't, they don't understand spirit, they don't have the understanding in spirit understanding, which is spirit and truth. They don't have the light. So they just take it and leave it right where it's at in darkness and just live around the fact that the darkness says this. So I can understand that. So I'm going to live by that. And that's what you see in the world today. 100%. That's how they live it. That's how they rumble it. Okay. So in Matthew chapter 19 and verse 13 and 14, then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. That he should put his hand on them and pray. And the disciples rebuke them. Verse 14. But Yeshua said, suffer little children and abide them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. He's still not speaking of little children, even though the parable is set up to understand little children coming to me and him praying for them. He's wanting him to understand, for such is the kingdom. Meaning the kingdom holds all little children, because Yah is the father of us and we are all his children. He don't see us as no king, leader, ruler, a queen, and a prophet and a this. We are little children, humble and innocent before him. Okay, so that's still giving them the same thing, a parable to make them kind of understand that the kingdom holds little children, and it represents innocent, humble, meek as children. You see in the natural, this is the way all of Yah's children in the kingdom are. And it's not based on a little baby, a toddler, or 3-year-old, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's based on the spirit. It's humble, innocent, and meek like a little child. Innocent. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you here. And he's saying, suffer in verse 14. Yeshua says, suffer little children and abide them not to come unto me, for such is, he's telling you, such is, the kingdom is such as a little child, humble, innocent, and meek. So, like it is on the earth, you see these children, okay? So is it like in the heaven. That's how we have to look at it, okay? Such is the kingdom of heaven. He's telling them right there. That's how the kingdom of heavens is. So he's letting them know it is still detached to the innocent of the children, the humbleness, okay? Now, this is what we're going to talk about, Matthew chapter 6. And we're going to go into Matthew chapter 6, verse 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, and 23. Matthew chapter 6. In verse 17. And we're just going to cover this. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 17. It reads, but when thou fast, anoint thy head and wash thy face. Why is that? Why must when we fast, why is he saying anoint thy head and wash thy face. Anybody know? Why is it he saying anoint thy head, okay, and wash thy face? Anybody? Anybody in the live chat? Matthew chapter 6, verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thy head and wash thy face. That's a good one. So people won't know that you're fasting. Yep. Something, it's just something between you and Yah. That's how fasting really should be, exactly between you and Yah. But what people do is they have this thing about fasting is something that they won't want to notice that they are doing and why they are doing it. They never, that like you were saying, I like that what you said, because you said it's between you and Yah. This is what people don't want. They don't want that relationship with them and Yah. They want the relationship with everyone else involved, so everyone else can see that, see, this is what I'm doing, this is how I pray, this is what I'm fasting, or this is how I dress, or this is how I look, and this is how I act. We're so busy on the outer man role playing, and you can't role play in the spirit realm on the outer man. Ooh, wee, you gonna be in trouble. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. Yeah, and a form of drawing attention. And they did that. They did. I remember that when fasting is something to me secret between you and Yah, because you're shutting the flesh down, and what you're doing, you're trying to reach your spirit to detach to his spirit. That's what fasting is, y'all. In case y'all didn't know that. I know they told you to fast so that you can get a breakthrough, or fast for this. You got it all wrong, baby. That ain't what fasting is. Fasting is putting away the flesh and start dealing in the spirit. And a lot of 99.9 don't know that, because they've been taught it in the dark way, and that is the flesh way. Fasting, that's why he said, wash your face, so nobody don't be looking at you and your face look like you've been fasting for days, and you want somebody to walk up to you and say, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm fasting. I need a breakthrough. Let me tell y'all, if you really understood what fasting really is, that's why I don't tamper with it. I do not tamper with it. I do not go over in that area, because if I have to go over in that area, it's like unto me going into the closet. You see what I'm saying? Because if you knew what it's like to go into the closet, you'll know what it's like to fast. And it's not something that detached to your flesh. So when he said wash your face, it's like, don't put your face, or don't make yourself look like you're fasting, or your face is just shiny and look like you ain't washed your face because you've been fasting for 4 or 5 days. All that is not necessary. But people think you're supposed to announce that you're fasting. Fasting is supposed to be so secretive, and they never got it. They never knew that the fasting, the reason why the disciples couldn't break through, because there are things that require fasting, but the fasting is spiritual, y'all. So the spiritual power of Yah can do the work. And 99.9 on the earth have no idea that the fasting is not detached to your fleshly feelings, your fleshly mood swings, your fleshly want, your fleshly desires, your fleshly understanding, your fleshly purpose, your fleshly wisdom, your fleshly knowledge. It's not detached to the flesh. Fasting, as they couldn't understand, because it is spiritual. And when he says wash your face, wash your nasty face, because it tells the story that something is going on, and no one needs to know the fast that you're taking in. And when you look on the outside away as if you're fasting, you're telling everybody, oh, I'm fasting. You can say it without even speaking. You see? So he said, wash that nasty face so it won't tell your secret. So your mystery in him, that you're spiritually trying your spirit with his spirit. So wash your outer face. Straighten yourself up. Don't go into all of that. That's why it's secret. That's why the disciples couldn't deliver things, is because they didn't have the mystery of fasting. 99.9 today, the churches, the temples, the synagogue, the watchmen, the seers, all of them, none of them don't know what fasting is. See, that's just like what Sister Deborah tried to explain to you all about the tongues. They shouldn't have never ceased, but he said it shall cease, because man is going to take the spiritual things out of and among the people of the body of Hamashiach, and they're going to bring in the worldly things. So where now people don't look for the tongues in the church, people don't look for the healing in the church, people don't look for deliverance and how would I say the miracles and signs. That's why, because none of it is detached to spiritual, you guys. We took everything out of everything spiritual, and we think we got it going on in the flesh. Tell me, where must we go from here? You see what I'm saying? But that's the way we accept it. We won't accept it no other way but that way. That's the type of people we are. We don't want to accept it no other way but the way that we've been taught it, the way we believe it, the way we're willing to receive it. And that's it. It's like, I don't want to hear it no other way but the way I'm willing to embrace it. And otherwise, and you know who's winning over? The people that's going through the broad gate. They're the one teaching everybody on these platforms. The people that's going through the broad gate are the teachers that's on these platforms. They're leading people through the broad gate, and people is going through it with a smile on their face. Okay. So here in Matthew chapter 6 in verse 17, wash your face. Okay. Verse 18, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto the Father, which is in secret. There it is. So if the Father telling you fasting is a secret, why is people organizing fast? Let's say for me and you, I sit on here and I said, well, y'all, let's do a fast. So that we got a sister in the hospital. Let's do a fast for 5 days. Let's do a fast. You see, we're not doing anything in secret. We're just thinking we got the power to do it. And you might have one person that has the ruach, and you asking those who don't have the anointing and the power to fast, and they don't have nothing to carry the power to the throne of Yah. You see what I'm saying? So you can't ask people to fast. Let us fast. Let us fast. Kick them trash to the curb somewhere. See, that's that flesh thing I told y'all. That's all that's about. It's all that flesh trying to organize ways. And we already know that this fast is spirit. That's the breakthrough. Because it's when your spirit is fasting and it's trying to grip the hem of his garment and pull him down to bless you. You see? And you're doing it by not allowing your flesh to have anything it wants. Don't give it nothing. And you're doing a contact spirit to spirit. That's the only thing you're dealing with, and not letting the flesh has it's none of its way. Don't let it think. Don't let it feel. Don't let it talk. Don't let it sing. I don't want to hear it. Shut your mouth and let spirit of your spirit commune with the spirit of the Most High Yah in a fast. And then you just let the flesh get nothing it wants. That's a fast. Okay, verse 17. But thou, let me say, now verse 18. It told you, Matthew chapter 6, verse 18, that thou appear not unto man to fast, but unto the Father which is in secret. And the Father which seeth secret. See? You see what I'm saying to you all? And you get knuckleheads on this devil platform talking, we're gonna form a fast. Let us fast. How can you get the devil and the righteous to fast together? How can you get the light and the darkness to fast together? You can't sit your tails down. I don't know where people get off thinking that you can combine dark with light and get into a fast. You can combine righteous with unrighteous and get something done. They sick. A fast is not something to play with. Now you can fast for your flesh. That's on you. There's no power in that. But if you're talking about a spiritual fast, that's my father. That's my father, y'all. That's my father. That's my father. And me in my spirit, go put away my flesh and everything you want to think, feel, talk, walk, eat, sleep, put it away. And let your spirit abide in his spirit in a way that you all are communicating to get the breakthrough. You see? You got to put away that flesh. You got to throw that thing down. Get it to sit down and shut up. And not give it what it wants. You see? Wash your face. It's not a part of the flat. It's not a part of the fast. And if they see your face like you're doing the fast and you're trying to announce that, hey, I'm on the outside, y'all. Look at me. I'm doing something on the inside. I'm fasting. No, you ain't. You clowning. So he's letting you know in verse 18, and thy father which see it in secret. You see the secret? He sees this in secret, and then what would he do? Shall reward you openly. Why? Because you did this fasting in the spirit. And I'm going to show the flesh and everything around the flesh that we got something going on in the spirit. And here's the blessing. But see, people don't get it. That their verse right there, they don't get that. The whole church will call a fast. Someone in the hospital, let us fast. How are you going to fast with the darkness? How is the darkness going to fast with the righteous? How is dark and light have anything in common? So how are you going to bring them together in a fast? Who are you fasting to see some results? Your flesh? Your emotions? Your feelings? That's it. Because y'all ain't in the midst of all this fasting. Sit your tails down. You want to fast? Tell people you want to fast and clown on do your fast. But keep my Most High out of it. He's already done told you I ain't got no dealing in that. Go on, clown. You want to clown? You've been clowning all this time. Clown up and clown down. You see? It's crazy. And Yeshua sitting here telling you about his father is the detachment to fasting. But it's something secret. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. You in secret. But what's this trash they out here doing? You see? The twos. Flesh. Clowning. No, you can't do no group fast unless everybody in the group have the light. Because if not, you're going to bring darkness and light into a fast. See how silly you sound? You're going to do righteous with unrighteous, wicked and evil with righteous into a fast. See how y'all see what I'm saying, y'all? This is what the churches and everybody been doing all these hundreds and thousands of years. And y'all ain't got nothing to do with it. He just get blamed for it. So you stop clowning. And he sit here and tell you, shall reward you openly. Verse 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. And what he meaning is things that of a value. That's what he meaning. He's telling you don't go trying to lay up treasures on the earth in a way of value, because what you're doing is you're making your earth your heaven. You're bringing your earth in your environment where you live where you are, and you bringing it into an environment as if it's a heavens to you on earth, you see, and you're decking it with as if, what did he say in verse 19? Thieves can break in and steal. So he's like saying, don't go out here setting your environment a way that would draw people to take it and steal from you, and treasures, oh, I got, like let's say for instance, you seen Stupo Dow on here bragging about all the gold he had. You little stupid fool. See, that's why I told you, I Judith, men are just gone. Why are you bragging about something that the government has already got set up to start checking serial numbers for everybody that has that, so they can start coming after you? And you're on nationwide television. Why? Because you're trying to let Judith feel bad that they don't have what you got. Look, I got gold, I got silver. Y'all better get you some. You better. How they gonna get what you got and you stole it? You robbed everybody to get it. That's what that is off the chain to me. And the world will look at him like he's the world. But no one looking at, hey, you got it because you stole it. Look at all these people sleeping in tents, sleeping in these here homemade trailers. No dental, no hospital, no health care. But you walking around on nationwide TV bragging about you got gold. You see the sickness? You see the sickness. So he's saying, don't go buying all that, building up treasures here on the earth. Because it's almost similar to the way I'm the same way, though. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm the same way. It's not like Dow's, but I'm the same way of feeling guilty. If I, and my mother said I should never do that, but she said, you've been like that since she know. My mother know I've been like that. I feel guilty buying myself something. And yes, my kids have told me and got on me about it, because when they try to give me spa and to get my hair done, or to get my nails and my pedicure and all of that, it's just that I go to the thrift store for my clothes, you guys, and I'm not ashamed. No, I am not. I think it's also a part of the Most High Yah and his daily bread, because he had to teach me what daily bread was and is. And I said to him, and I did, y'all, I said, Father, I want your daily bread in my life. That's something I actually said. But I always was a person, it would hurt my feelings to buy myself something. And my mom tried to teach me, she said that, but I was like that. She said I was like that till all my kids were grown. She said she was exactly like that. But with me, I'm still cuckoo clock. I would buy somebody else something new before I buy myself anything new. You see? So building up the treasure, I know exactly what he means. Everything in this house came from a thrift store. You hear me? Ain't no shame in my game. No, it is not. And I thank the Most High, because I got really, really good deals. When I go to estate sales and thrift stores, this is what I do. And when they come in here and see, they say, oh, you got a really nice, clean place. Yes. I don't go telling them it's thrift store, but I don't care. Let's get on to this lesson. But that's just the truth of the whole matter. So when he's saying here in verse 18, verse 19, lay not up for yourself treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. He just said, because people doing that. People doing that even right today. They taking their wealth and their money and they banking it. They buying gold and silver, and they buying all this expensive stuff, and not even thinking heaven's not going to receive you at all. They don't know that. It's not. Because you built up your treasures here on earth as if you were building on your heaven. on the earth. You know how they was building that tower? Thinking they're going to reach somewhere beyond the will of the Father. When that's how the mindset of people today. And it's not just today. It's been like that. That's why you see a lot of people who have taken from Israel and Judah. Ain't no good going to come to them, y'all. Y'all might think it is, but it ain't. Only those that been grafted in is getting up out of here. The other one's going to be. So when you get to thinking all these countries got this, all of them already in the Lamb, in the book to the lake. Your name, all these books is already listed. Everybody's name's already listed because he already know where your heart is. He already know what you're doing. And yes, Sister Deborah, I told you I was a cuckoo clock, and I don't care. I always had a problem with buying myself something. And my mother used to tell me, why don't you buy yourself something? And my oldest sister said, let me tell you, this is what she said. Here she goes. I don't care about you. You can do it if you want to. You're going to have to learn to love yourself. Ain't nobody going to love you. You're going to have to learn to do for yourself, buy for yourself. I don't know why you feel bad when you go in and you try to buy something you don't buy because you feel shame and you don't want to buy it because you don't feel you worldly. And she telling me all this. You ain't got number one child. Sit down. Sit your butt down. That's that greed. See, people like that can't tell me nothing. Here I am with 6. All my life has always been, before I even had the kids, I'm always was out trying to figure out how I can give someone something they don't have. You see? And I sit back and I look at it, and I'm just, what bothers me again was the Father waited till I was 58 years old and told me that he was gave. And I'm like saying, what? Because I confronted him. I said, I don't know why I have to make sure I do for others and no one do for me. No, that's what my sister was telling me. You running around here thinking that when people are in need, you try to help them. Ain't nobody going to help you. Ain't nobody going to do for you. You got to love yourself. That's how my older sister be talking to me. She be looking just like I'm looking too. You got to love yourself. I go out. I eat out 2 or 3 times a week. I go traveling. I do this. I take care of self. And that's what she do this here. I take care of me. I take care of me. But Sister Deborah ain't learned anything about me yet. And then I asked the Father, will I ever? He said, but Deborah, you like I am. You give and gave. And I was like, what is give and gave? He said, that's who I am. Because I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought it was what it was saying. Love. No, it's give and gave. I'm giving gave. And that's why you trying to figure out why you like you are. Because you like me. You me. You are giving gave too. And I'm just trying to figure this thing out and just can't figure it out. Always sitting back trying to figure it out. But now that I know that impact has a great deal to do with also some way, the world don't know why, but they think it's connected to the spirit, and it is. They don't know it, but I know it. Because I can't get out of it. I can't escape the way I can understand. I can feel people. It's a part like in the spiritual realm is discerning. Okay. And in the natural, you can feel their vibes and their energy as their feelings, their emotions. And you're trying to figure out if you feel it, then you feel, what can I do to help that person? And that's me. But let's get back into here. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Lay not up yourself treasures upon the earth where moth and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. And that's because he's letting you know, don't lay it up upon your treasures upon the earth. And he's speaking of people actually doing that. People are actually laying up stuff, y'all, as if they ain't gonna ever pass away, or if they gonna have this and never see death, or never they just think they gonna live like that. Okay, verse 20. But lay up for yourself treasures in the heavens, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Now, does that make any sense, y'all? Anybody in the live chat? Verse 20. Does that make any sense? Does that make it? I bet you ain't nobody on the live chat can answer that one. can break that down. Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. I bet you. I ain't gonna bet you. Let me not say that. I'm just joking with that word, but I would like to hear somebody break that one down. Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Hey, for all of y'all, what are you talking about? What you sure trying to say here? You mean we can lay up stuff like that up yonder? How can we lay up stuff up yonder? Anybody? Yes. That makes sense. Spiritual treasure. But break it down. You say it makes sense. Break it down. Heavenly things forever. Break the heavenly things forever. Try breaking it down. Try breaking both of y'all. Try breaking it down. That's what I'm trying to. That's going back to my topic. And what was it? Where's my paper? Oh. And what was the topic? Listen to the topic of this message. Where must we go from here? And what did Sister Deborah say? Spiritual understanding. So how can we break it down? Treasures. How can we break it down? No, we were created to worship and praise him. So that's what we were created for. And based on that, we will be judged based on that. But what does he mean when he say, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where nor moth nor rust do corrupt, where thieves, see, now listen to this now. See, listen to what he's saying now. Thieves do not break through nor steal. Lay up your treasures. What is he talking about? You repeated it. Doing for others. There you go. You just said it. You just said it. That's one part. You are so right. Doing for others. That's why he was saying it. When you do that, then you would have what? Rewards in heaven. That's something that never break through in not one church, one temple, nowhere. Someone else got it. Good works. Nowhere do they understand. And I'm like saying, well, why would a creator allow Yeshua, the Son of Man, to make a statement like that, knowing that these people weren't going to abide by that? That's something just deep to me. And to me, y'all, not to you all. I'm just saying that's deep to me, because just to hear that, I'm like saying, but Father, why would Yeshua say something like that? If you said you gave him those words to say, Father, what would be the purpose? It's vain and vexed. Nobody abide. That's what I'm saying. No one sees anything to invest anything in anything unless they're getting something out of it that's going to benefit what they already have. You see? And it's not, it says in verse 20, but lay up for yourselves. So it's like me laying up for myself, you laying up for yourself, treasures in heaven. Now we ain't in heaven. How can we lay it up on the earth? Now watch this here. Where neither moth nor rust can corrupt. So we know it's something that's going to be totally protected. It's almost like it's going to be protected. When we get there, it's going to be there for us. That's the way it seemed like to me, because look where it says, neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So it's like real treasure in the spirit realm that we will have. You get what I'm saying? Because he's lining it up. He's not lining it up as when you get there, you ain't gonna have nothing. Oh no, he's for real. And that's the point I'm saying that I would say to him. Why would Yeshua make a statement, even if they had to smear it, but make somewhat of a statement and it not be fulfilled? Heaven's got to have something up there for that individual or those individual. You so if you say lay them up, how do they lay them up? And if so, what's going to be up there waiting for real treasures? I really believe that, because it should not have ever been said. You see, it could have been just said we all just go to the kingdom and live forever. But the treasures is what you're saying can be stored up in the kingdom. I know the treasures also is connected to the rewards, but the people mentality, their mindsets, their heart are so far from that, Father. Their hearts are so far. And a lot of people don't even understand your heart that's connected to your spirit will measure your heart of your flesh. And if your heart of your flesh is too wax hard and too selfish and greedy and angry and basically greedy and pride-minded and all these things, you ain't gonna stand a chance. I don't care how many pastors, church you have and how many members you have. You ain't gonna stand a chance. You just down here clowning. Okay? Oh, you lost someone on the 14th. That is, and that was your nephew over the 4th of July holiday. But still give y'all the glory. Praise the Most High Yah. When I'm sad to hear that, because I heard a lot of people lost someone during the 4th of July holiday. I'm sad to hear that. Wow. We are sorry to hear that. Keep you in prayer. That's right. Precious Father. Okay. We are. You are so welcome. And we are sorry for your loss. And that's what I be saying every time I'm on here. It can be you today and me tomorrow. And it is important that we instill one another, that we are not excluded, we are included. Okay. So in Matthew's chapter 6, verse 21, it says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Now, when it says that, it's saying something very powerful. And I believe that this is something Yeshua is saying, that I almost feel like it is meant that many bypass it, because I believe I go 98% of the people in the world, no, I go 99%, wouldn't grip this here in the spirit of truth. They wouldn't grip it, because they wouldn't have thought that Yah would connect their treasures with their heart. He did. He did. That's why he knows who's who and what's what. He knows who's in the Lamb Book of Life, and he knows who's in the books to the lake of hell. He knows who's in the light and who's in the dark, who is his seed and who is the serpent seed, who is born of the spirit, who is born of the flesh. Y'all know it all. So when he said this here, my whole thing is, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That is very scary. That tells the truth about many. It lays it out. You would never get no one to preach that. That would be a awesome, along with other verses, because there's a lot of them in here. I've read it myself. That right there, just the way it's set up, I'm just thinking to the Father. As I'm speaking it to you all, I'm also thinking to him. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. What does he mean? What does he mean? Matthew's 20, Matthew, look at me, say 20. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 21. Who can nail that? It's very scary. To me, that's scary. Because who can do that? Who will wrap your heart where your treasures is at? Nobody but the Most High Yah. He the only one knows that. He's the only one. And he knows it. He said, he's telling you your heart is where your treasure is. Ooh-wee! That's deep. And we got several in the live chat. And I'm saying not one can break that down. This is where I said the title of this message, where must we go from here? And what did Sister Deborah say? Spiritual understanding. And this is what 21 is talking about. Now, when you look at verse 21, you have to do what? Break it into twos. You got to break it into twos and find out which one is he talking about. You got to find out. Yeshua is saying it. And when Yeshua is saying it, he's pretty much telling you it's the spiritual realm. You see? He's telling you where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. Verse 22. The light of the body is the eyes. If therefore thy eyes be single, thy whole body will be full of light. Based on what? The eyes is the light. And if the eyes is the light, and therefore thy eyes be single, the whole body shall be full of light. He's letting you know. Like unto 21. He's giving you the answer. He's showing you the difference between dark and light. Verse 21, he's speaking the heart of man, where his treasures is dedicated to his eternal destiny. And his heart is detached to it. Then he jumps to 21 and said, the light of the body is the eye. If there be thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And notice the eye is single. You see that? It's a single eye. That's a spiritual eye, y'all. So he's detaching 21 with 22, showing you the difference. But he's saying that your treasures here on earth, it really tells the story of who your heart is. And it says what? There will your heart be also. So it'll identify 100% people's whole life and living. And I said their whole living is based on their treasures. But their heart is detached to that same treasure. Their whole life is built upon. Okay. Then he dropped down to the light of the body. That's beautiful. He's showing you the dark side, then bring you down to the light. Showing you if the eye is the of the body, the light of the body. And if there be an eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Like unto, not like unto the example in verse 21. He cut into it, and he didn't just cut into it in 21. He cut into it in verse 20. He cut into it in verse 20 when he broke down the spiritual treasures. See, the spiritual treasures you build up on the earth for your treasures in the heaven. And then verse 21 is trying to show you that where your treasures of your heart is, where your treasures is on the earth is where your heart is at. Then he bring you right back into 21, showing you the spiritual light of the eyes is the light of the body. And you should have full of light. If you got the light, your eyes is the light of your body. And then in verse 23, but if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. Therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Woo-wee, that's deep. So he's switching he's detaching verse 22 and 23 together. He's detaching verse 20 and 21 together, showing you the flesh way of taking the treasures, and they built their treasures in their heart. And then that's in 21. And then in 20, he's telling you how the treasures that you build in the kingdom from the head, built on the earth, but you build them up for the kingdom. So, but 21 is for the flesh. 22 is for the spirit. 23 is for the flesh. You see how he did it? And he's showing you such a powerful way that this is a way even to now all the way to the end. This is what he's actually saying that exists in this day and time and have in time past and the days to come. Okay? This is solid as a rock. Okay? And then where am I at? Oh, that was it. It stops at verse 23. No. Let's do 24. 24 says, no man can serve two masters. What are you talking about, Father? He said, Deborah, two masters, two king, everything's in twos, two masters. Now back it back up to 20. Oh, in verse 20 is treasures for the heaven. Verse 21 is your treasures for your heart on the earth. There go two treasures. Verse 22, the light of the body of the eyes. It's one. And then the light, but the eyes be evil, and that is darkness. That's 23. So you 22 and 23 is showing you the light and the darkness. 20 and 21, one is showing you the light of the treasures on building up your treasures on the earth for the kingdom, and also showing you the treasures on the earth is what your heart is within your heart. That's the flesh. So he's break everything down in twos. He's showing us exactly who you are. Right here, you should know who you are. 100%. 100%. That's why he said, Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun, but the Yah says that they know, Deborah. They know I put it in them. And this here, I never broke this down, but just reading it right here, nobody could be able to teach and preach that like I just spoke it, if you really heard it. He broke 20 and 21, showing you the dark and the light. He broke 22 and 23, showing you the dark and the light. Then he come down to 24 and say, let me tell you something. We dealing with two masters. Woo! He's showing you, I'm speaking to two, Deborah. See? And you would never have known that he was breaking you down in twos, showing you how the flesh served the flesh and how the spirit served the spirit. Where should we go from here? I don't think that could be. And then he, listen to how he sums it up. Beautiful. Listen to what he says in 24. Matthew chapter 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters. Where he go? What he doing? He pulling up twos again. That's what he was doing in verse 23, 22, 21, and 20. He was pulling things up in twos. So you can get it. If you don't get it in the spiritual realm, well, here you are on the natural. That's why you don't get it in the spirit. In verse 20, you don't get it. Building up treasures in earth. That's why you can't define it. You can't find why, how can we do it? Which way should we do it? We don't know the way. We don't know how to build up our treasures. You know why? You've been living 21. Your treasures is in your heart right here on earth. That's why. That's why you don't know what he's talking about in verse 20, building up your treasures on the earth for the kingdom. It's because you've been living 21. Your treasures here on the earth and building them up in your own heart. That's why people don't understand how they really living in this day and time. So when you get to verse 22, same way, he's letting you know the light of the eyes is to the body. The light of the body is the eyes. If there be thy eye be single, thy whole body is full of light. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Full of light. Then he came to 23. But if thy eye be evil, see, now he's switching it up. Thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how greater is it, that darkness? That's why I try to explain to y'all. This darkness is something else. It's not a darkness that, see, that's what a lot of people want to make it look like. It's a darkness of the world only. No, it's a darkness in which you play a role in. And that's why Sister Deborah be saying, I be talking to a brick wall, or I'm saying it and they don't get it. It's because they don't understand which one are they. They get it confused because they don't understand it. They don't understand how you build up your treasures in the heavens while you're on the earth. They don't understand that their heart, their treasures on the earth, what they have, they so greedy, selfish, and ornery, it's in their heart. It's their flesh. You see? That's how hardened they are. And they don't care because they want to stick to what he was saying the first way, and they still ain't building up no treasures in the heaven. But they're really actually resting on verse 21. Where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. That's really where they at. Same way with 22. The light of the body is the eyes. They're not on that one. They're pretty much on 23. But if the eyes be evil, they're more so on that, proclaiming to be in 22. So what did he say? Come on down with me, Deborah. Take them on down. Then he bring you down to 24. No man can serve two masters. He's letting you know what I just gave you, what Yeshua was just breaking down, was showing you that y'all trying to serve two masters. You're trying to serve two masters, and you're thinking that you're doing a well job at it. That's why he was breaking them down like this. Then you know who you are. And then he says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one, and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. Yet cannot serve Yah and Mammon. I like that. That's beautiful. Ooh, I never thought of it like that. I ain't never thought of it like that. He went into fasting. He dropped down to your treasures. Woo-wee. And on both levels, he dropped down to the light on both levels and the darkness. That is beautiful. And then he summed it up with, no man can serve two masters. And what he's saying to you all out there, you're trying to serve two masters. And Sister Deborah said, where must we go from here? And I say unto you, spiritual understanding all things in the spirit. Last verse, last chapter, the Gospel of John, chapter 14. I like that there. I'm gonna do that whole chapter 6 because that's pretty. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I wouldn't have never thought to pull that up like that, but he pulled it up because he got it. Yeshua had It's like it's broke down into the area, and you have to see it, because he talks about the two fastings. He talked about the two treasures. He talked about the two spiritual, darkness and light. And then he came back and said, no man can serve two masters. Why? Because that's what they're doing. In this day and time, it ain't that they serving two masters. They're playing this role as if they one and they really the other. And that's why he got that broke down like that. So you'll know which one do you really serve. And if you didn't read it and break it down and get it in what I say, we go spiritual understanding, you'll still be stuck serving two masters, thinking you serving one. Okay. Now here in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, in verse 2, 3, and 4. Let's see. We're going to start with 1. Okay. In the Gospel of John, chapter 14, let not our heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yah, believe also in me. Verse 2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Now, what is Yeshua talking about? What is Yeshua talking about? In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. The first power punch is he separated himself already right there from the Father. Yeshua separated himself from the Father in this verse. Totally separate himself from the Father. He separated himself from the Father by saying, in my Father's house are many mansions. Now you see, he's not saying that he owns these mansions or he created these mansions. He just said he's going to prepare your place. But in that place where his Father, he said, in my Father's house. Now, I thought he was the Father. This is where you start to see, it's another power punch to let you know that I try my best to get y'all to see that the Father and the Son are two. And Yeshua came to teach us not just be the lamb that's around the neck. See, what y'all didn't know, that lamb was slaughtered. So if the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, who is that carrying the lamb? That was the Son of Yah, the Father's power, his word, and his spirit. You see, it's kind of sad because for the whole world to have it wrong, and we in the year 2024, it's still leading the mass and the multitude in these churches and everywhere on these devil platforms, not even knowing spirit and truth, don't have the light. So here, Yeshua did something that really kind of support me, myself, and even when I teach and I try to explain to people, he did an excellent job in something he did that we didn't pay any attention to, and that was show us the way. He was showing us the way. To who? The Father. How to serve the Father, how to worship the Father, how to honor the Father, how to praise the Father, how to recognize the Father. Yeshua came with no sin in a sinful world, and yet sin not, because the mission he had was to be the lamb that was slaughtered and to show us the way to the Father. And we missed it. See, we didn't understand that the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And you got to consider the lamb as slaughtered. But who was carrying the lamb? Yah. That's why it came down. The Son of Man with the Son of Yah. The Son of Yah with the Son of Man. They came down as one for the mission of the Father. And I learned that Yeshua was also coming to show us how to walk in a sinful world. Okay? In the way of the Father. Praising, honoring, glorifying him, magnifying him, exalting him, praising him, how to keep from doing the things that displease him. Yeshua did it and didn't sin. He did it. And that's what he was showing us, how we too could do it. And we missed it. We missed it. We missed it one way by making him Yah and didn't keep him as the lamb that was slaughtered. Now, if the lamb that was slaughtered, who had to take him to the slaughter? That was the Son of Yah. That's what he needed. The word, the spirit, and the power. That's why when he got to Gethsemane, he said, take away this bitter cup. Not my will, but thy will. He was speaking to the Son of Yah. You see, because he knew he was the lamb. He had to be slaughtered by himself. He had to go on that cross by himself. But the mission, he was carried all the way to the slaughter. Yeshua was carried all the way to the slaughter. That's why y'all, I don't know if y'all ever heard, but it's in there about 4 or 5 times where it says, and Yeshua said not a word. And he said not a word. You know why? The word was the mystery, that he was just a lamb for the blood sacrifice for our sins. And as he walked until he was slaughtered, he walked to show us how we can walk in a world of sin and represent his Father. So that's why you see a lot of his teaching telling us separate himself from the Father, because he wanted us to really understand him and the Father is one in the mission. But it's my Father's word, it's my Father's power, and it's my Father's spirit that took me to the slaughter. It was my Father's spirit that raised me from the grave. You see, he was always letting us know that. We didn't believe it. He told us about the miracle signs and wonders was of his Father. He even told us his words was of his Father, just wanting us to understand it, because he had to go, and that we too can walk like he walked. You see, in understanding who? His Father. And we didn't. Even to today, we still don't understand it. And we don't care. It's just where they at. It's gone. So verse 2, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. Now he's letting you know, I ain't got no house. My Father, y'all. I'm not the Father. But the whole world calls him the Father. You see? You see how one book, a million different denominations, a million different beliefs, but none of them be on one accord. Because they're not led by the Ruach HaKodesh, he that created all things. That's the only way, which is spiritual, can you detach to the mystery and the things which are spirit and truth. Okay? And the light. So he said, it were, in verse 2, if it were not so, I would not told you. I go to prepare a place for you. You see? But what did he say? He's preparing a place for you, but his Father has many mansions. So he separated himself totally from the Father. And what part of that they don't get? Anybody in the live chat, can you see that? How he separated himself from his Father. And as you read, you should see how he was separating himself from the Father all from the beginning. But we insist on making him what we wanted him to believe, what we wanted to believe. So verse 3 says, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again, which he is going to be the one that collect the sheep and the goats, all nations, and receive you unto myself. And there I am, there ye may be also. And listen to what he said to the disciples. And whether I go, ye know. And the way, ye know. See, that right there lets you know exactly what was said. Yah said he put it in them. He's telling, Yeshua telling the disciples, and whether I go, you know. And the way, you know. He's telling them they already know. of them, they already know. So that leads me to understand that it's a lot of things we portray that we didn't understand, we don't know. I think it has to do with our heart and our spirit being darkened and being so dark to where when the truth comes, they can't stand the light. Okay? That's what truth is. It's a light in the midst of darkness. It shows up everything that's hidden in darkness. So this is what I fully understand why things has to be the way that Yah has orchestrated it from the kingdom, because it can't be no other way. And if it have to be any other way, to be the way we say it is, and the Most High Yah is not going to allow that. It's still going to go according to His will, His purpose, His plan, His predestined, His ordained, His mystery. You see? And we still rumbling around trying to make it to where we and you know what I'm gonna tell you, and this is sad. People want to make everything the way they are comfortable with it. And I don't see no problem with that. Because I believe if you're born of the flesh, you're born of the flesh. There's nothing nobody can do about that. And if that's the way you see it, and the way you feel it, the way you understand it, the way you embrace it, go for what you know. Because you yourself can't see where you at. And that's why you can't see what's actually taking place and what's actually is going on. You see? Because you're stuck in this dark tunnel and you haven't seen what it's like to be light, even a pin needle light. So what had happened? You get so used to being in darkness to where light ain't got nothing on you. You'll beat light by a long shot because you've been in darkness too long. So the topic of this message was, where must we go from here? And Sister Deborah, the prophetess in the wilderness, would say, spiritual understanding is where we shall rest our head on. Spiritual understanding. Always seek spiritual understanding. Always break things down in twos. Learn spiritual understanding. And it's that which he said, in all your getting, get understanding. He's not talking about the understanding of the world. He's talking about the understanding of the spirit. Okay? He's not talking about nothing that has to do with the flesh, because the flesh got understanding, flesh got wisdom and knowledge. When you're dealing with wisdom and knowledge, you still have to pull up the wisdom and knowledge in the spirit. There's two. But you got to be able to detach yourself to one or the other. That's what he was saying. You either one or the other. You can't serve two masters. That's all it's all about. When he's speaking of spirit, born of the flesh and born of the spirit, he that is a serpent seed and the woman seed, he that is born, what is it? The serpent seed, the born of the flesh, born of the spirit. You know, he that is wicked and evil versus he that is righteous. Y'all, there's two. You got to just find your place. And while finding your place, make sure you focus on the things which are spiritual. That's one way. Now, there are things that is worldly. There's worldly understanding, worldly wisdom and knowledge. Those are the flesh. And if that's where you at, it's okay. It is okay. That's just your destiny. But when you are in the spirit, you got to find wisdom in the spirit, knowledge in the spirit, and understanding in the spirit. And understanding in the spirit is Yah himself. He comes to give you what? All understanding of everything. And that's like saying if you look up Google and try to get some understanding on something. And if you seek Yah for the understanding, he'll give you that understanding. You see? But he'll give it to you in the spirit realm, and the spirit realm outweigh the natural realm. Then not only do you have it both ways now, you can tell somebody something. See, the gift of being able to have them both ways is when your flesh has been submissive to your spirit, and your spirit is teaching your flesh. You can't fail. You really can't fall and fall under. Okay, because you got it both ways. When the flesh seems to buckle, and stumble, the spirit will pick it up, because that's who's been teaching this flesh, your spirit. And it knows the spiritual ways of Yah, because Yah taught you by the spirit. You see? So again, the name of this topic was where must we go from here? And again, Prophetess Deborah would say, spiritual understanding. And I hope you got something out of it. And I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. And I will say, I will be back. And shalom and shalom.